Hold your fire until I give the command. Don't shoot till we see the whites of their eyes, Myers muttered. Hell, we'll never see the whites of their eyes in this powder and dirt, Lansky said. Lansky was something of an old-timer, 45 when the war had broken out. He'd joined up anyway, 2 days after his son was killed in Italy. By then, the recruiters hadn't cared much about his age. He was a damned good man to have on the line. He'd learned to shoot hunting in Montana, and he rarely missed his mark, no matter what the conditions. Every shot counts, the lieutenant reminded them all. He was less than half Lansky's age, but Lansky never batted an eye at an order. Lansky had proven to be his best friend out here. He'd seen action at the end of the First World War. He'd learned a lot about digging into the trenches, and he had a way of giving damned good suggestions. Quietly, without irritating even the officers with higher ranks than the lieutenants. He saw Lansky's eyes now. They're coming, Lansky said. I can feel it. The lieutenant gave him a nod, and a moment later, Lansky was proven right. From out of the dusk, powder, and drifting dirt, the soldiers suddenly appeared. Knowing that they were within sight, they let out strange cries, like warriors of old. Maybe battle never changed, the lieutenant thought. Just the time, the place, the argument. Maybe men needed to scream, to run into a maelstrom of bullets, even if they were armed and prepared to deal out death themselves. Perhaps a battle cry was a man's last roar to heaven or hell that he was, indeed, alive. Fire! The lieutenant shouted. The earth seemed to split apart with the roar of the guns. The line coming toward them stumbled and broke. The eerie battle cries turned to screams of pain as men fell and died. And yet, where the line had been broken, new men came rushing in, and the battle cry they had taken up seemed to soar and echo into the darkening sky. Fire! He roared again, and another barrage filled the night, and more men fell. But, like ghost soldiers, the enemy kept coming, more soldiers filling in where the others had been. The line was coming closer and closer, and the enemy soldiers were firing as well, aiming blindly for the trenches. Fire! Again the roar of bullets. Powder filled the night so thickly that it was almost impossible to see anything. They heard screams, and knew more men had fallen, and knew that they were close. A soldier burst into view, throwing himself into the trench, gun aimed at Lansky. The lieutenant used his own weapon instantly and instinctively as a mace, cracking the enemy with a vengeance on the back and neck. The man fell before he could get off a shot, but others were coming, almost upon them. Fire at will! He roared in the night. In a minute it would be a melee. The enemy would be in the trenches. A man wouldn't know who the hell he was shooting anymore. Rifle fire rattled explosively in the night as the defenders shot almost blindly at the enemy encroaching upon them. A soldier caught a bullet in his gullet and fell into the trench on top of Lansky. Lansky pushed the dead man aside and took aim again. Then, out of the night, came a howling. It wasn't the battle cry of the enemy. Eerie, uncanny, like the scream of 1,000 banshees, or a cry from the damned in the deepest pits of hell. It was so startling, so deep, so soul-wrenching that, for moments, neither side fired a single shot. The silence was as eerie as the hellhound cry that had stilled them all. McCoy, the boy from Boston, spoke softly. May all the saints bless us and preserve us, he whispered. All hell broke loose. The baying began again, along with the sound of wild shots. Shots fired from the trenches into the dust and darkness, shots fired at the approaching enemy, shots that whistled into the darkness. Then, the thunder against the earth, as if cavalry were upon them. The screams began, screams coming from the German soldiers, while they could still see nothing in the whirl of powder, earth, and dust before them. Hail Mary, full of grace, McCoy intoned. Blessed Lord, Lansky cried. And it was a prayer and a curse, for a German soldier burst out of the haze, covered in blood, falling in upon them and to their feet. Their eyes fell instinctively to the man in the muck. And that was when the creatures came. Creatures.